We don't normally do this on Monday. And it's, you know what? It's not a normal time of the year. And that's why. You guys, it's week 0. And more importantly, it's 2 fans, 1 pod. I'm Alex. This is Brandon. And it's officially week 0 preview time. You guys are going back on our old cadence. We're going to go back with the old vibes where we're just yelling at each other constantly and going back and forth on the matchups. We're going to give you some spreads. We're going to give you a little bit of future action maybe. Maybe we'll tell you, hey, this team looks a little scrumptious. Maybe you'll follow us, maybe you won't. But what we're going to start out with today, before we hop into those matchups, there has been a little bit of exciting news in the world of college football. Now, this is something that I think was evident in NCAA basketball. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. This is we're going into this. Yeah.
So now officially we have our first ever case through a combination of rules that have come out with the transfer portal, court case rulings, and also just it seems like also NFL rules and policies. We have our first ever player who has been signed by an NFL team now coming back to college. And he's not going to a bad school. He's going to a really good school that he played for, and he played very well for. Brandon, I'm going to ask, I just got one question for you, okay? You know what I've been hearing all morning, by the way? Non-stop. Feinbaum. Freaking everyone from ESPN. Every single person and their mother has something to say about how this is destroying college sports. Why is this the line? Why is this the line? Why are we saying this is officially the downfall? Dude, it's been in a freaking free fall nonstop. Are we surprised? Why are we so surprised about this? I think this was just next in the order of things to come. And it's already happening in other college sports. Talk to me, Brandon.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. I think a lot of the times for a lot of people, it's just, seeing is believing. And I think everybody knew that this whole system was just screwed, and it's been screwed for quite some time. But this was one of those things where, like, even though it did hit basketball, I don't think people were expecting it to hit football in the way that it did. And it lined up with the whole ruling about the 5 years and all that. And then that, because of that ruling, lawmakers gave all the players that entered the draft that year, were going into the rookie year. They gave them the option to return back if they didn't take advantage of their full 5 years. And hence why we got a guy like Dae'Quan Wright, who was with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, declared for the draft. I believe he was undrafted. I believe you can't be drafted for you to be eligible to come back. So he wasn't drafted.
It's just it's such a that's one of the fine print rules. It just seems so silly. It seems silly.
And now he's at LSU.
And it was 2 different teams.
Now.
I think he got waived by whichever team picked him up. Yeah. He got waived, but then he also got picked up by another team, and I don't know. That's what I was reading. I agree. I glossed over it, but it seems like it was just on and off a couple of teams. Whether you're drafted or not is that seems so silly. Yeah. So if the case was that he got drafted in the 7th round and he ends up getting waived, then he wouldn't be able to come back. It's so stupid. But because he didn't get drafted, I don't know. The whole premise seems so silly to me.
If you enter the pros, you shouldn't be allowed. I mean,
once you're there, you're there. I mean, there's no question about it, you guys.
We haven't seen this ever.
I mean, we talked about college basketball in the pod. I mean, we've talked about how it's a joke. I mean, it's such a joke that players are going to the G League and then they're also going pro, but they're getting. I mean, it's the same exact thing. That's why I'm why are we surprised? This was the next order of events, you guys. I'm
really curious to see what's going to happen with Tommy Castellanos. If you remember, a couple episodes back, I was saying I could see him going to Texas Tech, and that has been one of the favorites for him to go to. But the thing is, I mean, dude, it's week zero this weekend. So how much time do you
Florida
have
State's playing?
Who is Florida State? Florida State is playing, but Castellanos is in the portal.
Yeah, I mean Texas Tech isn't playing, are they?
No. Texas Tech is not playing. They're not playing this. But
how would they be able to finesse that? I mean, listen,
but it doesn't
you
have 2 weeks to learn the playbook,
matter.
or he changes his position and joins as a wide receiver.
No, they could play him as QB and give him They could tell him. I mean, obviously, quarterback is almost impossible to just pick up a playbook.
Pick up on the fly.
Oof, I don't know. It's way too late.
It would be interesting. Who knows? Maybe, you bring him on board. Will Hammond shits the bed the first 4 or 5 weeks. Then you could go ahead and switch over to Castellanos.
That might be the move. That might be the move.
I think a lot of
you look at a lot of the QB rooms across the country. It feels like that's probably the case. And it brings me to the next topic I want to cover is Keelan Russell getting named the starter for Alabama. And this is a little bit weird. I was not okay with this. And I don't know why. Maybe it's my old school mentality.
Really?
I'm not okay with this. Dude, like Austin, I mean, I'm not saying, hey, listen, do not clip me and say, hey, Keelan Russell's going to shit the bed. He could very well. Bryce Underwood, it performed more than adequate last year. Had some flashes of like real talent and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
There's 5 stars being named. I mean, Tennessee just named one. We can talk about that in a second. Keelan Russell, though, why do I feel uneasy about someone who actually has been in the system, knows kind of like the balance between offensive coordinator and the QB position, understands the dynamics and stuff like that. Why does it not make sense to just run that?
Yeah, I'm actually like kind of on the same page as you. I think Austin Mack is a great quarterback. He did his time.
He looked good.
He's been in that system for a while. He's looked good.
They brought him out. They brought him out.
Enough.
How much were they down when they brought him out? I think like 4 touchdowns against Indiana.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, at that point, like the morale has gone to everything, so you can't really necessarily judge. But there was some. I mean, he evaded a couple of sacks on a drive I saw. I mean, he looked good, and he makes good. It looks like he makes decent decisions. There was one pass that was like really questionable. I remember seeing to the sideline, but it's really like I feel like if not served your time, doesn't sound like the right phrase, but if you've been part of a system for long enough, where you understand the dynamics between the coaches and the position group, you have a good hold of that offense. Why are we forcing the 5-star shit?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? I just don't get it.
Especially because Keelan, like another year of sitting back and gaining experience probably wouldn't hurt. I think honestly, what the reason why the whole seniority thing doesn't matter anymore is because of the portal stuff. Like they're probably scared that Keelan, the competition is too close. They're looking at it like, all right, Austin Mack, like it's his senior year. Keelan, it's his redshirt freshman year. But here's a 5-star that's going to get so many offers after this year. If he doesn't play, he'll be more inclined to leave if we don't give him the chance to play. Versus a guy like Austin Mack, who is, I believe, entering his senior year. If he doesn't play, then he doesn't play. His eligibility is done anyways. This is his last year. Why don't we go with a guy like Keelan, give him the chance? That way he stays with us for another 2 years rather than leave in the portal. You know what I mean? Versus like, let's start Austin Mack and then we lose our guy of the future. And we're kind of got to go back to square one.
Yeah, there's the volatility. I mean, you make a very good point about the volatility right now with the transfer portal. I heard a statistic that it was like 48.8% of players from the class of 2024 have transferred in some way, shape, or form. 48.8%, almost half, basically half, you guys. So it's like the volatility is there. I don't question that. Dude, but it's just like we are making seriously executive decisions. You're putting an 18. I don't know. Whatever. Ryan Williams had this is an executive decision, is it not? Is Alabama not the face of college football? Is Alabama not constantly portrayed? That symbol. ESPN loves shoving that stupid A down my throat every single day. They love doing it. This is the face of college football. Alabama tries so hard to be the case, and they were for so many years. But like doing something like this is a big deal. It's going to make national headlines for a reason. Because this is an executive decision, Brandon.
DeBoer is a genius. If he plays bad, it's going to be scary in Tuscaloosa.
It is 10 wins plus CFB appearance or bust. Is it not? He's one of those coaches right now in that position. If you're a CFP appearance or bust. And for him, for Galen, it might be a little bit more. After losing by 5 touchdowns in your last CFP appearance?
Yeah. Getting absolutely smacked on the national stage.
Arguably the worst loss in the history of Alabama football, considering the stage, if you want to talk about like impact and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Keelan Russell, this is the future. You want to talk about Faison
I'm
Brandon?
excited though.
You want to talk about Faison
Oh, the
Brandon?
other guy?
Yeah, because we got Brandon talking about
The
Brandon here.
true freshman 5-star QB, Faison Brandon. What a guy, huh? 6'3", over there in Tennessee, Rocky Top. Gonna be leading the offense out into the field. It's gonna be very interesting to watch. And this continues a theme of what I was just saying with Keelan. We are entering a new era where teams are actually putting these first year guys out into the battlefield. And I mean, maybe Tennessee, I haven't been keeping up with their offense, and their offseason situation too much. I believe they did lose Joey Aguilar. So the QB room probably over there is up for grabs. And I'm sure Faison Brandon is playing great and all that. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's a little scary. I will say last year, I want to say what there was off the top of my head, I want to say 5 true freshmen that played the entire year. Malik Washington, JKS, Bryce Underwood, what's his name? The BY Bear Bachmeyer, and somebody else I'm blanking out on, but just right there off the top of my head. And that wasn't a thing in the past. And I don't think any of those guys played like, Heisman finalist type of level, but they played, enough to solidify their spot as that starting QB. And the theme continues. I'm really curious to see what Tennessee does. I know that they have a good recruiting class coming in the following year too. So, I could see this being one of those developmental years, especially with a younger squad. You got the true freshmen going out and starting. Let them go out there and get some reps in. I'm not expecting a big season for them. I don't think that Heupel is going to be on the hot seat if things don't go well. But I think that this whole situation just highlights just the new era of CFB that we're entering and that we're bringing in, where these younger guys, I mean, they're really getting thrown into the battlefield early on. And I think that's due to the politics of the game and just the way that everything's evolving. I'm rooting for them.
Can I
that
just say
Tennessee
something
jersey's
about
coming
Tennessee?
in. I need that.
I'd like to say something about Tennessee. You know what Tennessee kind of feels like to me for QB room situation? I feel like it's very plug and play. I don't know if necessarily you need a 5-star for Tennessee. It's nice. I mean, especially you got a mobile guy, make plays out of the pocket, make more accurate throws, make better reads, all that good stuff. Obviously, you want to have the best player at that position. But you can be fine with 4 stars. You can be fine with 3 stars in that position as long as they're making the right reads. Most of that play with the way they play their spread, they just need speed in that offense.
Yeah.
You get players in space, they do the rest. I mean, they play the deep ball a lot, especially, Joey Aguilar was gunslinging pretty much constantly last year. So, I don't know. The one thing I will say, you said Josh Heupel's not on the hot seat. Why isn't he? Let's put this guy on the hot seat, dude. It's not to say okay, yeah, oh my God, guess what? You have a true freshman. You know what? You're fine. Have fun.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. Because Tennessee has had such good teams, dude. And I feel like if you want to talk about, head coaches that take you to the next tier, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe come at me in the comments, guys. I don't think Josh Heupel is it. I don't think he's the guy that's going to bring glory to Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee fans feel different. Tell me in the comments. I just don't feel like he's the guy for you. I don't know. Offense is fun to watch, though. Huh? Offense is really fun to watch. I got this one last thing I want to cover before we get into the previews, okay?
Talk to me.
Your GOAT, Jayden Daniels. Can we get this guy a better PR team, maybe? Let's get Jayden Daniels a better PR team. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen Jayden Daniels' name show up in the media and it for it not to be like a corny ass headline, like basically shaming him for something. Do you remember the girlfriend thing with his mom, looking over? It's just everything feels like he's a kid and his parents are basically running the whole shebang and he's just kind of sitting there. What's the deal with this number 5 thing? I don't know. I know that it's in the contract. It was in the. I don't care about that. Why is he making a big deal about it? That's what I want to know. Is it him that's making a big deal about it? Because it's a big deal. It's headlines. This is headlines, bro.
What I will say, I think. So just to break down the situation for those that don't know, DJ Pickett gets recruited to go to LSU. after Jayden Daniels leaves, asked for number 5. I don't think it was Brian Kelly that said like we'll give you 5, but I believe it was someone from his staff that was like, yes, if you commit, you'll get number 5. He commits. Brian Kelly's like, you're not getting number 5. Brian Kelly was the coach that coached Jayden Daniels. Brian Kelly leaves. DJ Pickett goes and brings it up to the coaching staff, and then I agree with their decision. You know what I mean? It's a new regime. They were like, yeah, you were promised 5, you get 5. And DJ Pickett's not just a random corner, but I mean, he's one of the best corners in the country. Dude's a freak athlete. You wouldn't want to lose out on him, and especially for something as silly as like a jersey number. And I know a lot of people hold that to, way more higher of importance, the whole jersey number thing. I understand that. But I think that this whole situation, I mean, this isn't like an ASU or, a UNLV type of situation. That's a small, like, this is LSU, and I don't think many players are bigger than the program over there. Like, nobody's worn that number 9, but it hasn't been like retired, but nobody's worn it. I don't think Tyrann Mathieu got his number never got retired.
What's the big number at LSU? That it's 18, right? If you wear 18 at
18
LSU.
18 or 19.
Yeah. For quarterback specifically, I feel like it's like you've worked hard, you've earned that number. I like that there's history behind some of the numbers like that and earning certain numbers. But like, can I be honest with you, dude? In 100 years in college football, we're retiring all these numbers. Like, how many numbers are left? Right.
There hasn't been many numbers that have been retired. That's what I was like Cam Newton's number 2 just got retired like a couple of years ago.
I mean,
they just retired that.
He was a phenom too.
He went undefeated. Bro, can you name another player on that Auburn team?
No, not necessary.
Exactly.
Not necessary.
He did it the whole thing. He went undefeated, won the Heisman, won the net. Like, dude, that I personally put his season as the greatest.
I can see that.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because of the talent around him. He did it in the SEC. It was insane. Everything was insane. I say all that to say that, yeah, he just got his number retired. JD, I'll die for you.
Yeah.
I will die for 5.
But give
I'll
up
die
number
for my QB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love him to death. I don't think that this was him. I really don't. I think it was his
I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like, his PR team did an awful job of spiraling this, and then maybe his I feel like the family, maybe LSU did a bad job also. I'm not entirely sure.
They definitely drug his name through. Like, they know what they're doing over there at LSU. It was like PR headline after PR statement. It was just going back and forth for a solid 48 hours there. And then JD put out the statement, and they asked him about it at training camp too, and he's like, yeah, I put out a statement. I said that I'm going to let my team handle the LSU stuff, and I'm solely focused on Commanders football. I hope it gets resolved soon. And then I understand DJ Pickett and Lane Kiffin were both like, yo, he's staying with 5. That's his number. Like, that's not going to change.
I mean,
as they should.
We love you, Commanders fans. We love you guys. Jayden Daniels, we love you. Love to have you on the pod one day. How insane would that be if just one day we just showed up and we had JD on the freaking pod? JD5.
What's gonna happen?
Relax, dude. Is that that's the beginning of like the effigy that you're building, right? Mm-hmm. And you even have like the headless angels too for the maximum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Smart.
It's a shrine.
It's a smart. Let's hop into these matchups. It's week 0. Don't get too excited, you guys, but at least we have college football back. Be careful with that, okay?
Sorry.
We're starting off hot with 2 teams that are like actually kind of in a hilarious position. And I'm going to explain why I say that, okay? Dublin. We're in Dublin for game 1. Opening game, Dublin. I forgot they do that. UNC at TCU.
Yeah.
At TCU.
Is that where that game's in Dublin?
Yeah. That's the Dublin game this year. You know, Penn State was the Dublin game a long time ago.
Oh, were they?
Against Syracuse, yeah. This was back when Christian Hackenberg's first start. That was his first start, was in Dublin. This is an interesting situation, okay?
Ooh.
UNC. We have talked about UNC, okay? Awful, right? I mean, what's going on at UNC is hilarious. And you guys come at me in the comments. I know. We read all of your comments after the video I put up about Bill Belichick. Maybe questionably being the best coach of all time. I just wanted to question it. That's all I said. When can we stop saying it? Is that a thing that can happen? And we should. Things that have changed at UNC for the better. I wrote a list. Bobby Petrino becoming offensive coordinator.
Yes, I love that.
We'll give that a plus, right?
Yes.
That's a plus from 2 Fans 1 Pod. Billy Edwards, journeyman quarterback, named the starter. Plus.
Yeah.
Plus.
I do. I respect it. I like it.
Played a whole season at Maryland. We loved him. We talked about him preseason. And we said, dude, non-contact injury game 1 is insane. And you're out for the season. Now he's at UNC. And he's kind of like, it's a redemption arc, I guess. Is that what we're calling it?
It's got to be.
Okay.
It's got to be.
So Bobby Petrino, who's an offensive wizard, I would say. Legendary offensive wizard.
Yeah.
You got an experienced quarterback. You have a lot of question marks on defense. You got a lot, but really,
everything.
The issue last year was the offense. When these two teams played, I mean, TCU blew them out, but UNC couldn't get anything going on offense, and they were hyped about Gio Lopez and the brand new offense. I mean, they just couldn't do. I know we laugh now because Gio Lopez was so bad. TCU. Let's talk about TCU for 1 second, okay? TCU. Josh Hoover. See you later, buddy. Off to Indiana to go win the next Heisman. Then we got a new offensive coordinator. Dude, this guy, okay, first of all, I had to look up his name. Gordon Samus. Okay? That's the new offensive coordinator for TCU. He says specifically their Harvard quarterback transfer, Jayden Craig, is not good. Has openly said this in press conferences.
Really?
Openly.
No way.
Look it up. Look it up. In press conferences, he's openly talked about how he's struggling in practice. He's not playing well. He's not hitting his reads. He has his accuracy is no bueno. Okay. Also,
but he's starting.
He's
right?
starting.
Yeah,
he's a starter. Harvard transfer. He's smart at the very least, right? Their defense, dude, their secondary is eviscerated. They lost everybody.
Yeah, they lost some guys. Yeah,
they lost everybody in that secondary, dude. And then you have. Dude, I got Billy Edwards. Dude, I'm kind of leaning UNC here, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. That is my logic. Change my mind. Change my mind, please. Dude, 7.5. And it feels like it's fine. I've even seen some books at 8.5. I'd be down to take 8.5.
Yeah, TCU lost a lot. And feels like they're kind of in like a situation that like, not the same, but a similar situation that UNC was in last season where like, I feel like that team, I mean, 4 years ago, they were in the Natty, 5, something crazy like that, and or in the playoffs, and they've kind of, taken a couple steps back, not just one, but yeah, I mean, they got a brand new QB, brand new offensive coordinator. It looks like that things aren't on the same page over there. Like
everything is just so brand new. Everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much turnover. Who is to say how that team is going to go? I just think that. Dude, the defense, that secondary is like completely eviscerated. They lost not only did they get a lot of transfers, they had brought in some kid, a transfer who was like highly touted. He ends up getting injured too, out for the season. I don't think TCU is ready.
I like UNC.
Thank you, dude. I'm literally I'm writing this out trying to prove that to you, and I'm just like, dude, I think UNC is gonna pull this off. I feel like, dude, if anything, 7.5. You guys, come on, give them a little credit. You know, I think they could. It's at a neutral site.
At a neutral site.
Yeah. There's not as much. Hey, listen. There's not. Dude, do you remember how much people were talking about Bill Belichick? They were talking about like his college football playoff odds. That's what the conversation was, bro. We don't remember this, but like, come on. I mean, if anything, this season the bar is much lower. I don't think we're expecting much. You know, so
no.
This is an interesting position. I like UNC here. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm rocking with you.
Hell yes.
I really do like UNC.
That's what I'm freaking talking about, dude. That is what I'm freaking
Belichick's
talking about.
not going to lose the first game of the season. He can't do it. He can't.
It would look really bad. I mean, it would just, every article would be like, yeah, Bill Belichick's replacement, TBD, we're finding it, what's going on. Actually, I don't know. They might just stick with him.
Is there a world where he gets fired midway through the season?
No, I think they paid him a lot, and I think they paid him for like a few years.
They can't, right?
I think
you can't.
At UNC at this point, I mean, I don't know. They have a lot of money. Like, UNC has I know for a fact.
Did you know UNC was about to get Summerall 2 years ago?
Was that true?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Isn't that crazy?
Imagine.
Dude,
And now he's Florida. He
somewhere
waited
on the
2 more years.
ACC with all that money, like, bro, he would have gotten so much money from
He would
that.
have destroyed.
Oh my god.
ACC's
oh
a
my
joke,
god.
you guys. Of course, he would have destroyed.
Yeah.
All right.
Insane.
I'm gonna go to one of the. We're only covering one of the blowouts. Okay. Predicted blowout. Okay. You know what I heard Josh Pate say the other day about this game? I love how Josh Pate will never give his opinion, but he'll just kind of be like, "Oh, what if this happens? What if this happens?" And it's like, dude, yeah, we get it. Oh, he's like, "What if San Jose State is only down by a touchdown in the fourth quarter on the road at USC?" Dude, come on. Okay. San Jose State, yeah, obviously, spoiler alert, that's the one I want to go over. I did research into San Jose State.
Did you really?
I did. They got Hawaii's backup quarterback transferred over, okay? Luke Weaver.
Luke.
That's it. That's all you got. That's all of my time researching that program. Dude, everything is new. There is so much turnover. I don't think San Jose State is expected to even remotely stay close this game. I think this game purely serves as a way to see how Luke Weaver plays into this offense. That's it. You're on the road. You are playing against Jayden Maiava, a bunch of 5-star wide receivers, and who even knows who the next Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane is going to be, but it's going to be one of those freaking 6 people they have. They have the number 1 recruiting class in the country last year, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
going to be a fun watch.
This is 38.5 is not nearly enough, you guys.
Really?
I think 50 plus this game. Here's the thing, and here's why I'm going to say that. I think right now Lincoln Riley is a very, very unique position because he has a lot. Dude, he's got a Heisman winner. He's got a lot of fancy, sexy wins under his belt. But you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have a college football playoff win.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have anything to call as a serious win, as a serious program-defining win under his belt. If he doesn't, I'm going to say this, if he doesn't go to the college football playoffs this year, I think he's out this year. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's too many returning talent. There's too much returning talent, especially, and on defense, it's just loaded. This is a loaded team. I don't know. I can't see a world where if they miss the playoffs, he doesn't get fired. You know?
Yeah. No. It's time. And I think even on the Big Ten Media Day, he's kind of stopped. He completely is like, yo, this is the squad. We have the team. This is the most complete
no need to fear.
Our roster has been. He's saying this. He's saying that this is the year that things are going to pop off. So we'll see. But yeah, I like that. I think he starts this off, and it's at home, right? I could see that.
It's at home. I mean, this is going to be a show. Yeah, this is a show. Yeah. This is Lincoln Riley is I'm going to show you. You want to see talent?
How good we are.
We made them. Here's the number 1 recruiting class in the country, by the way. There's going to be 5-star freshmen on the field who are starting. I mean, that's what it's going to be.
It's going to be fun to watch.
So, do you like the pick? You like the minus 38.5?
I do.
Ding, ding, ding. Done deal. Let's head over to Charlottesville. NC State at UVA. This game actually should have more hype. This might be the most hype game of the weekend. Just because of everything that has revolved around it. NC State actually had a pretty good ass offense last year. Really good. Hollywood Smothers, you remember him? Between him and CJ Bailey, they were able to make points. It was really the defense that was kind of questionable. CJ Bailey, Tommy talked about him last week on the pod. That's his number 1 quarterback to watch out for the upcoming season. We like that because he's not really talked about too much, but I mean, that's what he said. I did my own digging. There's a lot of ESPN articles talking about how hype. Yeah, people like him. I think there's actually a considerable amount of hype behind this guy. I don't know. CJ Bailey, they lost Hollywood Smothers, but this guy, Duke Scott, he had 1 full game of snaps. Hollywood Smothers was injured for, guess which game, actually, believe it or not, when they upset undefeated Georgia Tech. That was with Duke Scott.
Really?
And Duke Scott is the reason they won that game. He had 195 rushing yards on 24 attempts. He is the reason they won that game. So he's their new star running back. Everyone's hype about him. He was averaging like over 6-7 yards. I think he was like I want to say over 6 yards a carry. So they kind of have the same offense. One other side note I'm going to say about NC State, okay? This guy, Dave Doeren, their head coach. You want to know some fun facts about him?
Talk to me.
He is entering his 14th season.
Oh.
He has not had a single 10-win season. Think about in the last 14 years how much talent. NC State has always had talent. They will get good players. Look at their team right now. Look at their team last year. They've always had a good team. But
always.
I started looking at Dave Doeren's stats, and I kind of got reminded a little bit of James Franklin. I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling. There's a ceiling. You've seen it. It's not going anywhere. That ceiling will stay there until you. So I don't think NC State. I'm not saying like NC State should change leadership or anything, but if this season when you have CJ Bailey and to the point with his frame, he will get NFL scouts interested in him if he plays good enough, right? And then you have a great running back too, who's going right back into that system that you love doing. UVA, on the other hand, we've talked about this QB room, right?
Yes.
Bo Pribula and Eli Holstein, that's pretty good. It's not like the most stacked, but like if for options, that's
you got
pretty
iron
good.
sharpening iron for sure. Yeah.
I mean, Bo Pribula, we've seen it. If you want to talk about ceilings, we've seen it. Okay. Their wide receiver room is literally all transfers, so we have no idea how that's going to go. And it's also Bo Pribula, so again, we have the ceiling. Eli Holstein is officially the backup. Bo Pribula named the starter. They have arguably one of the best offensive lines in the ACC. And they also have arguably one of the best running backs in the ACC, Xavier Brown, who was an absolute monster last year, was a monster in that Miami game. He's like he was the guy who would get hit 2 yards before the third and short to gain, and he would go right through the line. So he is like one of those guys that you can put your game on his back. That's their main attack, was always just the downhill running with Xavier Brown. So I don't even think they need Bo Pribula to throw like 25 times a game. It's not going to be Chandler Morris. You're not going to get Chandler Morris. Even between Eli Holstein and Bo Pribula, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get that output that he had. But all you need to do is control the ball, keep the ball going. I got UVA -4.5 here. I'm going to take UVA.
Oh, no, I like UVA too. You know how I feel about this
nice.
program. I think
Huge.
that the offense...
but CJ, you really not taking NC State here?
No.
Okay. They won last year, by the way. They won last year.
Yeah, I know. They did win last year. I just like that offense. I like UVA's offense. I think they got a good squad. I think they addressed all their needs in the portal, very effectively and efficiently. And I think it looks like they got things figured out over there. At least as far as the team just being rounded out. I think they got a chance to compete for the ACC title again. Really do. I mean, they got a solid squad.
I'm not to say that I don't like NC State. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I don't know what the over-under is, but I like this game to be high-scoring just because both of the offenses are going to be very prolific.
53.5.
Oh, wow. That's not very high, actually.
It's not.
We'll talk about that. Maybe don't take the over-under quite yet, guys, but I'm not as confident, but we do love UVA in this game. That's 3 for 3 so far. Let's see if we can get 4 for 4. I got one last matchup I want to go over. Hawaii at Stanford. Rematch from last year.
That's going to be fun.
This is going to be a great game. This was a great game last year, too. This was an awesome game.
Damn, I'm so excited for these games, man. It's it's just hitting me right now that it's really this weekend.
I know. We have some good... Dude, Hawaii and Stanford. This game was actually a barn burner last year. Okay. Yeah. Stanford has a little bit of an overhaul, right? So
complete.
Again, it's another mini overhaul, right? Because they had what was his name? I'm thinking Mark Richt. That's not right. The head coach they had last year, Frank Reich.
Yes, yeah, and now this year they got Tavita Pritchard, QB coach from the Commanders, who also is.
Oh, that's why you know him. I was like, why do we? This guy, Stanford QB player, was a offensive coordinator back when David Shaw had some pretty good names. Some pretty good names over the years, including Andrew Luck. So I mean, I think as far as what they'll be able to do. Sanford finished strong last year, I would say. They had kind of if I remember Andrew Luck being on the sidelines on one of the games. It was really fun to watch. I think, with Andrew Luck taking over the football operations and everything, basically becoming the CEO of the team, it's very obvious that he cares a lot and he wants to, put all of his attention and
I love that.
everything into this program. They only lost 10 players in the portal. You know what that tells me? That tells me that they're retaining people based on the way that they work, their ethic, their approach. Everything it also includes an aspect of retainment, and I think that's huge also, because then you get to develop players and you get to keep people in the same system. Well, relatively safe. And then here's the best part about Stanford. You ready for this?
Talk to me.
Davis Warren named
Yes,
starting quarterback. Ohio State beating Davis freaking Warren in the shoe, lest we forget.
It's beautiful.
What a game.
Guy.
I don't know. Between him and Micah Ford, their running back, I think Stanford looks pretty deadly. I'm not going to lie. Davis Warren, he transferred somewhere last year. I forgot. But
last year he went to...
Tell me.
Oh, no, he was in Michigan.
He got injured, though. No, but he wasn't going to...
Yes, I think that's right.
He got injured. I could have sworn he transferred. But either way, got injured. This is more of also another redemption arc for him. So he's coming back to play his 6th year, by the way. So he's going to be... we won't see this anymore. I'm going to talk about Hawaii real quick, too. I got... it's that quarterback. Is it Alejado?
Micah Alejado.
This guy is, I think, as far as preseason hype, I was looking he is on all the watch lists for at least the Mountain West and stuff. He's on every award watch list, on all the preseason, first team. Rightfully so. He was a almost single-hand reason why they would win games last year with, some of his late game theatrics and whatnot. I think the head coach, Timmy Chang, obviously, you want to talk about passion for teams. You can see it too. Hawaii is different though. Hawaii, you have to have passion for the team. I feel like that's number one on the checklist. Yes. I'm just going to go with Stanford here on the rematch at home. They want to get that dub, and I think they're going to do it pretty defiantly. I think they have a lot of experience, and they have experience coming back. So I'm hoping that with, new head coach, experienced quarterback, at home, it looks good. I'm going to take Stanford here. I know I'm not usually a favorites guy, but I pretty much took every favorite except UNC this week. Talk to me. What do you like?
I don't know, man. I really like this Hawaii team, man. I like both of these teams a lot. I like everything that you said. I'm a fan of Tavita Pritchard. I think that this Stanford team, I really like the point you made about retention. It seems like they're kind of finding their identity, and they're finding it, they're willing to take their time a bit. They're willing to be patient. I love the hire of Tavita Pritchard, not just because he was on the Commanders, but if you go back and look at his resume, he's been in that building since he finished playing quarterback over there. Worked his way up the coaching ranks, came to the Commanders and was a QB coach for us for about 2 seasons, and now he's back at Stanford as the head coach. So you got a head coach that's, emotionally invested in this school. And then you got a GM that everybody's just, can't help but keep their eyes glued on with Andrew Luck. So I think the roster is really being rounded out. But when it comes to this game being played, especially week 1, I like Hawaii. I love Micah Alejado. That game that he had last year against Cal was just so electric. And he's had a couple of really just impressive performances. I think last year he threw 27 touchdowns, 6 picks, and he's a playmaker. And I see his playmaking skills kind of really being the thing that takes Hawaii over the hump in this game. But man, I'm excited for this game. This game might be the one that I'm the most pumped about. Davis Warren's, I guess his comeback game. Tavita's
debut.
Great game.
It was a great game last year too.
This is gonna be a good game. Yeah, it was a good game last year. It was. I don't see either team really, taking the edge and just killing the other one. But yeah, I see Hawaii getting away with the W here.
Yeah. Oh wow. Straight up outright winners.
I see Hawaii getting away with the W. I do.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, then we couldn't fully agree.
The favorite.
They are. I took a
Yeah,
lot of
this is the
favorites. I
one.
shouldn't have done that. It's literally week 0. You're not supposed to take favorites week 0, you guys. It's week 0 and week 1 are the ones to take your risks. Take the massive underdogs, enjoy it. But if you want to be squares like me and a little bit like Brandon, go ahead and take some favorites this weekend. Keelan Russell, starting quarterback for Alabama. Good for you.
Insane,
actually. You guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We always love you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going back on our old cadence, so make sure to tune in.
We're back
Wednesday nights for a preview of the upcoming college football week. And then on Sundays, we always have our recap episodes, so make sure to tune into those. More casual. We try to just chat more than anything. We love you guys. Peace out.
so much.
Love you so much.